Hi there, my name is Leonard Parker. I'm the owner of Destiny Marketing Solutions, and in this video, I'm going to go over SEO versus PPC. So, a battle of the titans when you're looking at some of the more popular online marketing channels to get more restoration jobs. But I'm going to talk about when you should use which, and is there a possibility of using both? So if you're not familiar with SEO or PPC, make sure to check out some of my other videos where I go into more detail about those two channels. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to talk about when you should use both and how you can combine these strategies. So let's say this is day one of your business. You just started, you just got your space or just got your logo, and you're trying to jump the ship and trying to really do some marketing to get your name out there. Now, in this case, if you're looking for calls, you should do PPC, and specifically, I'm talking about AdWords, as assuming that your campaign is set up correctly and strategically, you can start getting calls today with PPC. With SEO, that's rarely the case. SEO is definitely a more long-term play that's going to take persistent effort over a course of time to actually see any results. So PPC, again, turn it on today, start getting calls and job requests today. But let's look at some of these numbers here. And at first, I'll start with PPC. Oops. I'm just going to draw a line here, separate these two sides. And I'm a digital marketer, not an artist, heads up, so I'll try to make my handwriting as clear and legible as possible. Let's say AdWords, right? We'll just abbreviate it. So AdWords, let's say you're in a moderate sized city, so there is some competition, but not a ton. And let's say on average, the cost per click is 20 bucks. Okay. And let's say you're a bit more advanced than most, that instead of sending your paid traffic to your website, you're sending them to a dedicated landing page that's optimized to get the call, to get the sell, or at least get that prospect to contact you. Let's say that landing page, it has what's called a 10% conversion rate. So basically, what's the percentage of people that visit that page and actually call you or submit their information to be contacted by your team? So let's say conversion rate is at 10%. So that basically means out of 10 people, you're going to get one call. Okay. And then, of course, depending on your sales staff, their ability, and whoever is answering the phone, is probably going to take more than one call to get a solid job, to get a new project. So, but let's just say your sales team is phenomenal, and every time someone calls, they get that job. So with that said, it'll take 10 clicks to get one job. So 200 bucks. Okay. And let's say, depending on what your goal for the business, the revenue goal, month over month or, year over year, you're going to need that number of clicks to get those jobs. So you can see how that can quickly add up over time. And the drawback of paid ads, running paid ads, is that you're pretty much renting that traffic from Google or whichever ad platform that you're using. The moment that you turn it off, you're no longer going to get that traffic. Just how if you rent an apartment, if you go a month without paying, you're going to be looking for a place to stay. But let's contrast that with SEO. Okay. SEO. So let's say on average, your average monthly retainer for a moderate sized city is probably going to be, let's just say, to keep the numbers simple, $1,000 per month. And again, assuming that you're just going into business, so your website is brand new and you haven't done any SEO or really any marketing for the website, it's going to take a minimum of 6 months or so to start seeing any substantial results. And that's a general guideline. If you're in a smaller market or a market where there isn't much competition, or even if you focus or specialize on a specific type of restoration job, that timeline can be much shorter. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, let's say you're in a large metro area like a Houston or New York City or LA. It's quite possibly could take a year plus to see any type of results from your SEO campaign. And obviously there's a lot of variables that go into that, but typically the larger the city, the more competition and more difficult it will be to see any substantial results from your SEO. But back to the simple example, let's say it takes 6 months to see some type of strategy or traction with your SEO. So 6 months, you spent $6,000, but you're starting to get some calls. You're starting to get some traction with your SEO. Contrast that with pay per click. If you're just running ads, you'll be at $6,000 after 30 calls. So ideally, once you start, getting calls from your SEO, you maybe can start ramping it down a bit. Let's say you're at the #1 position in your Google Map Pack, and organically, you can start ramping it down and maybe spend some of that remaining marketing budget on other marketing strategies. So over time, you can see SEO might be more cost effective. But remember when I mentioned that when you're paying for ads, you're pretty much renting that traffic. With SEO, you own that website or whatever asset that's getting that traffic and those calls. So as long as you can maintain your ranking and maintain the amount of traffic that you're getting, you can expect to continue to get those same number of calls month over month, even after you've done the upfront work. So that's how SEO is beneficial. Again, it's a long-term play, but it's a more sustainable strategy for the long term. So let's say your budget is not an issue and you walk into this and that it's going to take marketing to really grow the business. Ideally, you would do both. You would do a mixture of both. So paid ads to kind of take care of the calls, getting the calls during the first part of your campaign. And then, once your SEO starts seeing traction, your SEO will kick in and maybe you can lay down, reduce the budget for your paid ads. And that's really how you can use both in combination. And even let's say if you're running paid ads, or even you're doing SEO and someone lands on your website, but they didn't make the call, they didn't submit their contact information for more info, you can do a remarketing ad campaign to try to get back in front of that prospective customer to get that job. So that's how SEO and AdWords can be used in combination with each other. But depending on where you are with your business, one might be better suited than the other for where you're at. So if you have any questions on that, feel free to give us a call. The number is right there in the video description below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We regularly put out videos that talk about different marketing strategies and tactics for damage restoration business owners. And I also provided some helpful links to our other videos and other articles if you want to read up and learn more. But thank you for watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Take care.